Hello and welcome to the Money Marketing Podcast. I'm Kimberly Dondo and we are back again for our end of month podcast with the B2B Title of the Year. Woo!
Yes.
Yeah, so in the last episode, we did talk about the Headline Money Awards and how we were up for a couple of nominations individually and also as a title. And we did take home the B2B Title of the Year. And we were all very happy about it. And also there were some other awards. So Mike, you got B2B
Trade Pensions Journalist.
Yeah.
Of the Year.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's awesome.
And Lois, highly commended Rising Star.
Obviously, it's because I'm a risen star.
Yeah, you've already risen. Next year, just be like all of the trophies for all of us. I see us only going up from here. But yeah, that was
I'm
really
hoping
great.
for one for acting editor next year.
Yeah, that's a good joke.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, now that we've kind of got that out of the way, let's do proper introductions. So starting with you, JB.
Jumbo Scenario reporter.
Michael Climbs, acting editor.
Hello, hi. My name is Mamadou Moussatori. I'm a reporter.
Hi, I'm Lois Vallely and I'm acting editor. Joking, chief reporter.
Awesome. Yeah. So I think July was a great month and August was a little bit more chill. I think it wasn't as, I know we talked about how August is never as calm as people say it will be, but I think it was a pretty calm August, right?
Yeah, fairly. Well, I mean, it's ramping up again. I mean, things are beginning to ramp up again, but yeah, August.
I think mid-August it did sort of quieten down a little bit.
Yeah.
Compared to August last year, it was much busier.
Yeah. What for you stood out that made it like?
I don't remember when Consumer Duty came out. Was it in August or July?
No, that was in July.
Okay.
27th of July.
Yeah,
My bad.
it was towards the end,
Yeah.
but like obviously, like it would bleed over into August.
Yeah.
A lot of feedback and stuff coming from that. But yeah, I think it's been a great month. So who would like to start off with what stood out for them this month?
I would,
Yeah.
if I may.
Yeah.
So I got the top most read news story for the month, I believe. So my news story was that loads of senior staff and middle management have been leaving Aberdeen's financial planning arm. I do kind of have an idea of why, but I'm not going to say before I speak to Aberdeen.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my next thing to sort of find out that. But yeah, I got a tip off that, loads of people have been leaving. So my follow-up is to find out why.
And I like to say it was a very, very good story.
Yeah.
I edited it. I think it's one of the best ones that Lois has done. And it had loads of good research. And yeah, I got a good feeling when I was reading it. So well done.
Thank you.
So I guess the follow-up will be even better then, since you've already done the groundwork.
Totally. I've got a few follow-ups in the pipeline. Aberdeen will be pleased to know.
Yeah. Was there anything else that you worked on that stood out for you?
So for the August issue, I wrote a couple of features for the back half of the magazine. I think I mentioned them in the last podcast. One of them was on whether mascots are a good tool for
I did
building
like
your
that
brand.
one. Yeah.
So I went to interview, in quotation marks, the Doddle Monster,
Yeah.
and then wrote a piece off the back of that. It was looking at mascots more generally.
Uh-huh.
So I mentioned some that I sort of came across when I was working in the energy and water sectors. And yeah, I really enjoyed writing it.
It
The
was
upshot,
funny, like when you
basically.
were talking about how he had gone in for the interview and all of that other stuff, and
Yeah, that was made up.
monster
That came out of my head.
what was it, like the recruiting, like monster or something like that you said?
He came out of Monsters University. and he didn't
Monsters
know- Well, not he,
University.
sorry.
They.
He
Yeah.
came out of Monsters University and didn't know what they wanted to do.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I did just make that up.
That's funny. I
Not
like
even
that
AJ
though.
Bell made that up. I did.
They're probably going to steal that. No.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I think probably, in my opinion, the Doddle Monster is the best financial services mascot. But there haven't been that many. Oh yeah, I know you hate Worky, Mike. I don't know why.
I don't know why. I just really don't like Worky.
Oh, I saw a tweet. Someone, I can't even remember who tweeted it, but it went on the diary page. and it was some weird advert in Portugal or something, and it looked just like Worky. And he was joking that Worky's got a new job advertising some kind of, I can't remember what it was, Portuguese broadband or something.
I can't remember. Did they tell you how much they spent on Boddle?
Oh no, they didn't.
Because that'd be interesting, because there was an FOI, I think, once that Worky, and they like spent millions on it.
I don't think they spent
and
millions
it's just,
on
and everyone was like, wasted taxpayers' money.
Just for mascot.
Yeah. It was.
Exactly.
So this was meant to be this new fur animal, which is meant to engage, make people care about their pensions, and they just spent like
a lot
of money.
It was some ridiculous number. Anyway, sorry, that's quite a long time to be spending on mascots.
No.
But my other feature was about academies, which was also very interesting. So it was based on a conversation I had with Tom Hegarty at M&G Wealth about their academy. It's one of the 3 ways that they're recruiting advisors into the business. And I've just noticed, I think SJP launched its academy 10 years ago because after RDR, banks sort of stopped doing advice and stopped doing advice training and things. And then I've just noticed over the past couple of years, quite a lot of other middle-sized, is that the word?
Mid-sized, yeah.
Sorry, I've had a long train journey this morning. My brain is not in gear. Mid-sized advisors have been launching their own. So just looking at that, go and read it.
No, I think
it's very good.
I think that makes sense. I've talked to some people who've gone through academies, and I think it's probably one of the best ways for someone who might be coming in as a second career. Mostly second careers seem to go the academy route. So it seems like, a good way to get into it, because before people were going through the banks, but now that's not a possibility.
Do it, so.
Yeah,
it's a good,
awesome,
both interesting. I found to write.
Yeah. So Mamadou, what about you? What stood out for you in August?
Well, on the mic, I interview Debbie Kennedy.
Okay, yes. Yeah, the MME.
Yeah, the MME. Yeah, that was fun for me, I think. We discussed so much, in terms of the protection sector. Her personal life, her journey so far. And taking over Life Stage from Tom Bigri. So I think, that was a very good, one for me to do,
Yeah. And they're big shoes to fill, I guess, but.
Oh, no, yeah. Because Tom has been with Life Search, since the beginning of Life Search. And as Debbie said, but it felt like Tom was handing over his family.
Yeah.
To her, so that's something, kind of like big for her, But I think Debbie is doing well,
Yeah, she's hit the ground running.
Oh, yeah, she is,
Yeah. Anything else for you that stood out?
The consumer duty, because I did like a follow-up. Where I spoke to the pro consumer lobby group, TTF, and we did a story on that, and there was so much traction. On that story, because there was the issue of right to private action. Which was missing. The consumer duty. Duty. So yeah. And I spoke to the FCA team, and they said, that's something they kind of like thinking about adding, to the consumer duty.
Okay, so it'll be. So this isn't like a closed thing. They're going to keep adding to it as time goes on.
Yes, exactly. So. Okay,
that makes sense. At least it's flexible in that way.
Yeah, that was good, I think. And as the TTF said, I think that's very key. Yeah. Very key issue, for consumers to be able to take farms, to court.
Okay, awesome. And JB, what about you? What stood out for you in August?
So that's not a story I wrote, but it's a broader issue. So it's Liz Truss plan to merge 3 regulatory bodies in one mega regulator.
Okay.
So it's been reported by the Financial Times. It's allegedly one of the plans. And just my personal opinion, I found this idea quite, how do I put it?
Questionable?
Yes.
Why do you find it questionable?
So there are a lot of critics out there saying that the FCA already has a lot on its plate, so more that it can actually chew. So how creating a kind of mega regulator is going to help?
It's just going to be a mess.
That's what I suspect.
Yeah. Like, what? Imagine being referred to departments and like trying to call, and then it's like, hold the phone while we transfer you to this department and this department.
So yeah, we asked the chair of the Treasury Committee to comment on this, and he had some reserve on it.
Mm-hmm.
And there was an interesting comment under this article I saw this morning that the FCA, it's already hard for the FCA to regulate different professions that have little in common.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take, for example, it regulates financial advisors, asset managers, insurance, I think, investment banks.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some people arguing that the FCA should actually be splitted out in different
Into
entities,
different sections.
specialized in the different professions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it goes against what the industry seems to be saying.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it doesn't sound like a good idea for me. It sounds like a recipe for disaster, but...
And if I'm not wrong, it used to be the case before.
It was actually. It used to be the Financial Services Authority, and then you had the financial crisis.
Yeah, so
everything blew up.
So it's kind of returning to what the UK had before.
So, which I don't think is very
Especially
wise.
on the cusp of what might be another
recession
crisis.
It just seems.
This
country has an interesting direction at the minute.
Everyone's being hella pessimistic, so they're saying it's going to happen. Most people are like, we're already in it. So, is there anything else that stood out for you, JB?
Very anecdotal. It's actually very fresh. It's from this morning, and it's probably because I've been covering this topic since this product has been launched. It's this UK Green Savings Bonds.
Uh-huh.
So the interest rate has been more than doubled. So it's increased from 1.30% to 3.0%.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen any reaction from the industry for now. And obviously, I'm not an investment expert, otherwise I wouldn't be sitting here.
Wow, good to know if JB ever gets those qualifications, he's out of here.
Exactly, that's your pack, JB.
But it's still, I don't know if that makes sense to do this comparison, but it's still below the benchmark, which is the US Treasury 3 years, because UK Green Savings Bond also has a 3-year duration.
Mm-hmm.
So in comparison, it's the US 3-year Treasury is 378%. So yeah, it's still below the benchmark, but I guess it's already a significant improvement compared to the second issue from February.
Yeah. In terms of like investments, I was listening to your annuities podcast. Yeah. And I didn't know that you're such a gambling man.
Am I?
Yeah. Because you're talking about like how you made like, you turned £1 into £100.
I did.
Wow.
It wasn't pound, it was euro.
You gamble for me.
But for some reason, he's like skeptical about gambling his retirement money with the investments.
Because I know football better than finance.
Right. Okay. So maybe just
market.
put all your investment. No, this is terrible.
No,
this is terrible. I'm not going to finish that sentence.
This is not advice.
But yeah, I enjoyed that as well. Your what was the title? Something on
Reflection on annuities.
A reflection of annuities. Yeah. Very good. So yeah, that will be out by the time this drops anyway. So yeah, that was really good. Mike, what about you? Did you have time to work on anything, or have you just been overseeing?
I've just been
the
overseeing.
lovely team?
I think probably the big thing I did was my weekend essay on social.
Yeah, that was a very personal account.
One,
It made me cry.
Yeah. So that was one which I think had some resonance, which went down well, or well, not down well, but
but like it made people probably have a perspective that they might not if they haven't experienced it. I mean, for me, it certainly gave me a different perspective because I've always been like, I told you I had worked in care.
For 60 hours you were doing?
Yeah, I was doing like 60-hour weeks while I was studying for my master's.
Yeah.
But for me, when I was working in care, I had a different perspective. I was caring for these people and I only ever met them in the state that they were in. So I embraced them the way they were. And I didn't feel, I felt sad for them and stuff, but I wasn't as like emotionally affected, obviously, as you being from the other perspective, having seen them go through different life stages. So it's always really interesting when I hear those stories and the process of, you know, getting someone into a care situation, like a situation where they're being cared for, seems very complicated.
Yeah, it's not easy, but I'd love to read, you know, a weekend essay on your.
I'll share a little anecdote on when this one lady who I thought I was besties with, she just switched on me and choked me.
Really?
Yeah.
Like one of the people who's
no, she had dementia, so that's like quite common.
Wow.
I do have a couple of ideas for you, Lois. I had one last night actually.
I love
on
ideas.
financial coaching and financial advice, which I think is, I spoke to a financial coach in my other podcast that I do. It was just really interesting. And I was asking her questions about, you know, are people in the industry skeptical and stuff like that? Because I feel like advisors would be quite like, you're not qualified to give advice.
I don't think they're regulated, are they?
No, you get qualifications, but not necessarily like advice driven, but you're coaching people. But I think like if the two went together, like if a financial advisor became a financial coach, it would be a more holistic approach. I don't know.
I think financial coaches, they can sort of help a
With
client
your
up to a point.
Mentality about money.
Yeah, exactly. And then if the client has more sort of complicated needs, then the coach should pass them on to a actual financial advisor.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. But I've spoken to some advisors who are also getting their coaching qualifications so that it's like a one-stop shop.
That's a good idea.
Which I think is quite interesting, especially when we talk about like mental health and stuff like that. And money comes hand in hand with, yeah, exactly. It kind of all becomes this whole holistic
they kind of affect
thing.
each other, don't they? Mental health and
because
finance.
As much advice as you can give someone, if they're going through something, they're not going to listen to you.
Yeah, and that's why some people, like Simon Busty, who I speak to quite a lot, has a sort of issue with people constantly calling for more financial education.
Yeah.
Obviously it's needed, but there's a multitude of information out there on Google. And if people aren't going to take any notice of it, they just won't.
Yeah.
Like most people know that you don't go to Waitrose and spend £100 when you went in for one thing, for example.
Yeah.
Some people still do it.
Yeah.
Not naming any names myself.
So that's something that you would need to be coached out of, that mentality, that behavior, what triggers you, etc.
I know that's not the right thing to do. £100 is a bit extreme. But
especially, first of all, you lost me at walking into Waitrose right now. I'm not doing that.
It was my local shop for a while.
Yeah.
Bad times. And also good times.
JB,
you had your hand up.
Yeah, since we're touching on Weekend Essay, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Should I advertise for my next one?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so I wrote last week a piece about... I think it was a business analyst at St. James Place who sent a direct message on LinkedIn to a client to make fun of his political views. Mm-hmm. So
Yikes.
from my understanding, the client was a hardline Remainer.
Okay.
And from what I understood, the SJP employee was rather a Brexiter.
Okay.
So what I found interesting about this piece is that it actually got much more attention than it should have. And I saw there's been quite a lot of debate in the comment section. So
was that the SJP?
Yeah.
Harry Katz versus Neil Liversidge.
So what, as in like what people saying?
Well, Brexit, remain or leave.
No, but surely the question shouldn't be about that. It should be about like, you shouldn't be that unprofessional. I feel like that's the main...
Well, they weren't debating it though, which is maybe interesting.
I agree with you. And
because if you're talking to a client, then why
it's not commercial. From a commercial perspective, it's not very sound.
It's like the same thing at a dinner table. They say like, don't talk about politics, religion, or whatever. You shouldn't be talking about that stuff with your client. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, but what was interesting about the comments underneath was that the comments underneath weren't really about whether he should have said that to the. It was just basically about Brexit versus Remainers.
Okay.
So it just was that whole debate again.
It's
like these
years
long
at this point.
and these long
It's
and these long
redundant.
paragraphs of like you know this that. So it was just sort of.
I
anyway.
understand people are still passionate about
It's
it,
very
but
tribal, the whole thing.
oh my god, everything is now. Everything is political.
It's like, just pick a side,
anyway,
stick with it, no
so-
matter your beliefs.
There's a profile on Instagram I follow, which is about posting memes about the financial advice profession. And I remember there was one where you have someone faking a smile with a caption stating, when your client starts speaking about politics or something like that.
Right? Yeah. You just smile and nod.
Yeah. So in my next weekend essay, I will look at whether financial advisors should engage in political conversation with their clients.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
I think that it's kind of like similar to the one I was thinking about, where it's like about setting those boundaries where you need to be like, okay, this is what we talk about. I don't need to know about your actual personal beliefs unless they affect your investment choices, e.g. like, do you want to invest in ESG? Like, apart from that, I don't care about, what you believe in politically.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that was common sense, but I guess it's just okay. So let's look forward to September. The September issue has just been put to bed, right?
Yeah, went to the printers on Tuesday. It was good, very smooth. So again,
everything
great
is running
team,
smoothly.
Yes.
Acting editor is doing his job.
Yes.
Katie will be proud to know.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, what should we look forward to in September?
So we've got a good cover about the controversies which have been rumbling on at the CII, Chartered Insurance Institute, leadership there.
They're constantly in our number one search.
Yes.
On our website. People are very intrigued.
Jean-Baptiste has written about that. It's sort of like a summation of sort of his reporting that he's been doing for the past 3 or 4 months and various concerns, worries, allegations there. So that's good. And then Lois has done Money Marketing Meets.
Yep, with Richard Romilly, who's the CEO of Square Mile.
Okay.
CEO, Managing Director, Head of Square Mile, who I keep wanting to call Richard Romney for some reason. No idea.
I'm
It
glad
just
that
rolls off the
Sorry,
tongue.
Richard.
I was gonna sit with that name, so I just said she.
Yeah, Richard Romilly. That was really good. He's really interesting. Has a lot of knowledge of the advice market, so it was really good to talk to him. I won't give too much away because people can read the interview.
Yeah.
And I will talk about it in more detail next podcast.
Yeah. And this is my time to plug here that if you haven't subscribed and got your physical copy, you should, because every mag
really
is
pretty.
Beautiful. And again, B2B title of the year. So you better go and get that subscription, guys.
They should have.
What about you, Mama D? Is there anything that we should look forward to in September?
There's a comment piece I did on the platform sector,
Mm-hmm. And well, before Lois was saying that platform, was it Lois? Someone said they should. Oh, Amanda. They need to evolve or die.
Oh yeah, that was
So,
Amanda.
what was your comment on it?
No, mine is because of this economic crisis.
Right.
So but the sector is going through a very rough patch. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Assets fell by 6%. Sales also fell.
Okay.
Because of this cost of living crisis. So my topic, is platform industry from boom, to bust. Because last year things were going nice and well for the sector. Yeah.
And now.
And then came the war. Came the war in Ukraine, and then things just.
How did one war cause so much?
Quite a big one. But it's a very big war. It's a
it's
a big one, yes, sir.
There's so many wars going on at the same time. It's crazy. But yeah, JB, you're doing the cover for September, right?
I did.
Yeah. And I know Mike talked about it briefly just now, but is there anything else you would like to flag?
Yeah, read it.
Straight to the point. As always, JV, thank you for that. So yeah, I think that we'll wrap it up here. We have a summer party to get to.
Yes, we do. And I've got some things to give out. So.
Oh, because we are once again B2B Title of the Year. Exactly. I hope you guys don't forget that. Yeah, we're still very excited about that. But thank you for listening if you've made it this far, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Join us at Money Marketing Interactive London on the 29th of September. Just go to mmilondon.moneymarketing.co.uk to secure your seat at our industry-leading event and hear from notable figures in the industry. See you there.